Bryan, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, guys. I'm doing good.
You sound amazing.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
I can't believe you signed up to come back today.
Why? What's the big deal? What's so bad about that?
You put in 3 hours with us yesterday, and you have a tea time coming up, and then you're like, I just want to be part of it. It's so fun.
Hey, I'll put it this way. Like I heard Jason saying, I could have been hitting balls or putting. You know, we're in a heat advisory in Florida right now. Like what it feels like is 110. So I don't need to be out there any longer than what I need to be. So I'm good because the course is literally 30 seconds from my house. So I'll just get right there, get in the cart and go right to the first tee. I'll warm up because it'll be hot outside.
All right. So before we talk,
Tausch been at your house this whole time? Is that what's been going on?
It's a secret. Yes.
He hasn't. I've always had an open invite for guys to come play, but for some reason they never make it down. I don't know.
Oh, I don't remember getting that invitation.
Oh. All you got to do is ask.
All right, I'm going to come down. I can't wait to see Abby and the kids, and then really make giant divots and lose about 30 balls on your golf course. All right. So before we get to tonight's preseason game, which, by the way, if you are not in Wisconsin like Bryan isn't, it is on the NFL Network, kicking off at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 Central. So be sure to tune in, like Bryan, I'm sure, will, because he prepares for our show even when he's not on it. But before we talk about what you're going to be looking for, I saw a post from you this morning, because I follow you on Instagram. You don't follow me back, but that's fine. I noticed you were in the cold tub. Is that because of the heat advisory, or is that because you're still in that mode of I'm an NFL player and the cold tub is good for my joints and my bones and everything else?
Yeah, so this is something brand new that I picked up. I picked up this tub, and I was telling Jesse the other day about kind of what I'm doing. So probably a week ago, I got this cold tub in, and I've just been getting it every day for around 10 minutes. And I work out, and then I get in the tub, and I'll tell you what, my body, my energy levels, they feel, my body feels much better after doing it, but my energy levels and mood are crazy good after it. So it's become kind of a routine for me. Today, it's because it's a little hot out. I set it to 49 degrees, got into it. I went out and ran. I did my running this morning, got in the cold. Well, I walked with my dog Leroy for a mile, and then I got in the tub. And it was, it felt refreshing, man. It felt really good. If you haven't done it, I know it stinks to do it right away. It hurts. It does. But once you get used to it, I'll tell you what, it's pretty nice.
All right. I don't want to use up all our time together with this, but I'm like that guy that gets into the 66, 67 degree swimming pool that hasn't warmed up for the summer yet. And I'm like, oh, this is cold. Oh. What am I going to do in a cold tub?
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, the cold tub, you're in there for 10 minutes, you're sitting still, and you're just you're just deep breathing and just kind of sitting there, and it goes off. If you're in a cold pool and swimming around, that's no good. But, it's 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes, you just, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Slowly I'm trying to work my way down to the temperature, getting to 38, 39 and getting it to that point. But that's going to take time.
All right. So speaking of shocks to the system, how's that for a transition? Professional radio announcer here. What would shock you tonight? What would really get your attention in a first preseason game? You've been great as a cousin sub of the day talking about the value or lack thereof for certain players of preseason football. We know Jordan Love's going to play 1 or 2 series, probably not any more than that. But as you go into this game, what are you really intrigued by that you want to see, and what are some of the things that if you saw them, they would surprise you?
Well, there's a lot of things I'm excited to see tonight, right? Obviously, the Jordan Love story, as we've hit on so many times, is very intriguing. I'll be shocked if he doesn't start the game. I'll be shocked by that. That'll be something that'll really surprise me. Because if you look at preseason football and where the Bengals are at as a team, they're probably not playing their dudes on defense. You know what I mean? They're probably not rolling out their first team defense to play.
Right.
Maybe a couple guys here and there. But so because I was thinking about this morning, the risk to him is probably very low, because even if Bach and Elton don't play, you should still feel pretty good about the other guys going in blocking the second string defensive line from the Bengals. You should feel pretty good about that. So if he doesn't play, Jordan Love, that is, I would be shocked. I'm also interested to see how the team comes out energy-wise, right? Like, this is a new era, right? This is a fresh start. This is the first time we're seeing this new product on the field without Aaron Rodgers. So, like, I'm excited to see how the team is. If there is a little adversity, I get it's preseason and not all the guys are playing, but, you know, the NFL roster, man, you're just as strong as your weakest link, and that's the 53rd guy on the roster. So I want to see kind of how this plays out and how the team reacts to a little adversity. How's the energy coming out? Our guys stepping up and playing well? Because I would imagine that, especially for the offensive side of the ball, we're going to see the center, the right guard, and the right tackle getting significant snaps, would be my guess. So Runyon, Myers, and if that's Tom or Yash, because Yash is probably going to start at left tackle, we're going to get significant reps out of them. So obviously it's not a first-team guys with the Bengals, but we get to see how they're doing against second-team guys from the Bengals and how that looks. So I'm very excited to see that. And defensively, I mean, I don't know who's going to play and who's not going to play. I can't imagine we're going to see Kenny. Probably not going to see Preston. Obviously not going to see Rashawn Gary. Probably not going to see Jair or any of those guys. But we know what happens through an NFL season. Depth is needed. So I want to see how the defense performs after there's been a lot of talk about them. And with, you know, the expectation on them this year is to kind of be the leader of this team, especially with Jordan Love getting his feet wet and figuring things out as the season goes on. The defense needs to be the vocal point, and the defense needs to have depth, and Van Ness and all these new guys. I want to see how they look in their opening snaps.
Talking with Bryan Bulaga after he got in the cold tub and before he gets out on the golf course. All right, one more thing about Jordan Love, and then I know you got to go. But I would think that with the Bengals not likely to play their frontline defensive players, and even if they do, being very vanilla in their scheme, and Matt LaFleur wanting to get his young first-year starting quarterback confidence. Look, Love had a great touchdown throw in San Francisco last year. I believe that was the preseason opener. He had 2 interceptions in that game, but at least one of them was not his fault. It was Amari Rodgers' fault, which Aaron Rodgers was happy to point out. I would think that they would game plan this for 2 purposes. 1, make sure he gets the ball out quickly so he's not put in harm's way. And 2, so he can have some success, so this is a confidence booster. If you're the offensive coordinator, if Adam Stenovich calls and says, Blue, I can't go tonight, and I was supposed to call the plays. Can you come? We can get you here on a private jet. You'll be here before kickoff. What are you calling as the offensive coordinator to get Jordan Love experience, but also confidence and keeping him safe?
So what I would do, my first 3 plays, I'd run inside zone to the right, let the center, right guard, right tackle right away. Let's see what they're about right off the get. Inside zone to the right. Next play would be a bootleg, a keeper, get Jordan Love out in some space, get him an easy completion. 3rd down, 3-step drop, get the ball out of his hands. Timing route, let's get guys open, quick routes, get moving. And if they get a first down, I'd continue that pattern and make it look very similar all the way till the drive's over. And that's how I would do it. Confidence booster drives, confident throws, plays that you know you can check in and out of really quick if you need to. And that's what I would do if I was Steno. And I mean, Steno's a pretty brilliant mind in how he's going to do it. But to me, it's all about confidence.
I hope you're confident, and I hope you stay cool on the 110-degree golf course. Hit them straight, and we'll talk to you when you're cousin sub again, buddy. Thanks.
All right, guys. Sound good. Have a good rest of the show.
That is Bryan Bulaga, Florida resident, cold tub user, and soon to be on the first tee in about 30 seconds from his house.